Hey everyone! Today I want to share with you my 7 steps to getting your money in order and being able to pay off your student loans. I myself had paid off a little bit more than $50,000 of student loan debt. It was over a couple of years, 2 kids later, married, tons of crazy stuff happened, but my personal story is for another video. Today I'm going to share these 7 steps with you guys to help you get out of your student loan debt. First step would be write down a budget every single month. You're going to write down all of your income, all of your expenses. I personally would recommend to get either Excel, or if you like a cloud-based Excel, Google Sheets is just fine. Get it down into some kind of Excel program. Your second step will be to find an automatic tracking system for your spending. I personally recommend, if you want something free, Mint.com is a great resource. Also, there are so many other resources out there these days. You Need a Budget, Dave Ramsey's Every Dollar, so many more are popping up every day. But those cost money unless you do a free subscription, which has limited functions. So I recommend Mint. You can put your budget into Mint, and then you can attach all your bank accounts, all your student loan accounts, and be able to see every line of spending that you've done and allocate that to each budget. These first 2 steps, I'm going to recommend following them for a few months. It's really hard. It sounds easy to keep a budget. It's actually really hard because things come up that you forgot to budget for. So give it a few months to kind of get adjusted to it, and you'll get better with it over time for sure. Step number 3 would be to analyze all of your expenses in your budget. Now this is after you've done your budget a few months and you're getting the hang of it. You're going to want to look at, what are you spending? Are you spending a lot on getting your nails and hair done? Is that really necessary? Do you have an extremely high car payment? Could you ride the bus? What can you cut back on your spending? Are you doing a lot of unhealthy things, spending money at Starbucks, on alcohol and cigarettes? There's a lot of unnecessary items that a lot of people will buy because they don't keep track of it. So you can see, oh wow, we spent $2,000 on eating out. We could probably spend 1/4 of that on just buying groceries. Could you shop at Goodwill rather than buying new clothes? Can you get your hair cut at the beauty school? These are all temporary sacrifices, remember, to lead you to your ultimate goal, which is financial freedom. And then you will be able to do some of these things. So don't feel too deprived. It's only temporary. This is going to lead you to your 4th step. So you've got your budget, you've cut down your spending. So how much money do you have left every month? If that amount is only a little bit more than what your student loan payment is, are you happy with that? Do you want to pay just the normal amount of student loan payment? So how much would you like to pay down on your student loans? Do some calculations, see how early you could pay them off. I personally would not consolidate quite yet. And if you're going to put your loans on a payment plan, do not put them on over a 10-year payment plan. Trust me, you're not going to want to have 2, 3 kids, married, a house, all of this stuff that life is going to throw at you, and you're 55 and you're still paying on student loans. You're not going to want that at all. So let's go ahead and get them out of the way by 30, please. And then you'll open up this income for the rest of your life to build wealth. So again, that's going to be, you need to determine how much do you want to put down, how much can you put down, and how much do you want to put down on your student loans every month, which is going to lead you to step number 5, which is analyze your income. Is it possible for you to make more money? Are you making, $40,000, $50,000 a year trying to pay off $40,000 of loans? It's going to take you quite a while to do that. So why don't you pick up a second job? What are your skills? What are your talents? What's your area like? Could you Airbnb a room in your house? Could you babysit? Could you dog sit? Could you house sit? Could you start knitting scarves? Whatever you like. Drive for Lyft. There's so many independent contractor type things out there these days. you really have no excuse to not have an extra side hustle. So this is really going to come into play killing those loans, those student loan debts. And now when you have the time before you're really, really invested in your career, before you have kids and a spouse, I know I keep repeating this, but you always think, I'll have so much more time later. And it really doesn't get any easier. It just gets harder if you don't get some of these financial burdens out of the way. For step number 6, my recommendation, I definitely side with Dave Ramsey on paying off smallest to largest. I'm very visual. I like to have a graph, a chart, or something. So we printed out a chart of, I had about 10 student loans from smallest to largest and kind of an estimated date of payoff. This gave a great visual. We had it on our refrigerator. It was so nice to mark off those loans when we paid them off and have a little celebration whenever we paid them off. So to me, it's a little bit more motivational. I understand the mathematics of paying off student loans from the highest interest rate to the lowest interest rate. It makes sense, but it also makes sense to me to have many successes along the way. Instead of would have started with my highest interest loan, it probably would have taken me a year and a half to pay off one loan, and I probably would have fallen off the track. So just smallest to largest, just for motivation, it works. If you're going to do it fast, it's really not going to make that much of a difference anyway. Number 7, get an accountability partner. A money diet is very similar to a food diet. If you're not on some kind of program or with someone doing a challenge or you're paying someone, it's hard to be committed to it if it's just you. Myself, I would like to lose 15 or 20 pounds after having my last child a year ago. But it's hard when somebody brings you a cake and you're like, well, I want to eat it. Who cares but me? So I'm going to eat it. Same thing with your money. You're like, well, this dress is out of my budget. I didn't budget for it, but it's cute and I'm going to buy it because I want it, because it's on sale, or whatever your excuses are. You don't have to report to anybody else with your excuses. So it's good to be on track with an accountability partner. For me, that was my spouse. We had a joint checking account. We still do. And if there were any questionable expenses, we would both question each other, go through the budget every month. I would really try to get on board with one of your friends. If y'all are on board with the same money philosophies together, try not to get anybody that's going to distract you going shopping or going to Starbucks or whatever your weaknesses are. It could be your parents. I'm sure they would love to help you. It could be your friend, your boyfriend, anybody. Just get an accountability partner to go along with you in this journey. So I hope these 7 steps have helped someone. I'm really passionate about getting out of student loan debt because it's something that I personally have experienced. Again, I'm paid off a little bit over $50,000 of student loan debt in a few years on very low income, and a lot of crazy things happen in my life in those years too. So it is doable. It is very hard. You have to be very disciplined, but it's totally worth it. Trust me on this. Coming from someone who's almost 30, 10 years from now, you will be super thankful you did. Thanks for watching my video. If you have any questions or if you have any success stories yourself, please post them in the comments below. I love to hear about other people taking control of their finances as well. See you later.